welcome to my channel. My name is Sylvia and my channel's all about art and craft. Now I thought today I will show you how you can rescue paintbrushes that have been completely forgotten about. Now my husband and I went through my mother-in-law's things and we ended up finding all these paintbrushes hidden away in a drawer. And as you can see, they have not been cleaned at all. Now, normally you would just sort of go, okay, bin. Well, we're going to try and rescue them. And same with this palette knife, it's full of paint and we're going to see how easy we can get it off. So what I'm going to do is, I've got 2 jars here. They're nice and clean so that you can actually see how dirty the water, well, not water, but how dirty these will get. What you're going to need, now I've got 2 types here and we might end up having to try both. Now I've got some enamel thinner here, so that's what I'm going to try first, and the other one is a multi-purpose thinner. So this particular one is actually for acrylics, so, and I don't know what sort of paint is on those paintbrushes, so we'll have to see which one will work best. The other thing you're going to need is a nice big bucket. This is the biggest one I've got at the moment, and when I'm ready I will put some hot water into this so we can wash it out in hot water, hot soapy water. I also got this little brush and it's nice and stiff. I've got a nice clean white rag, again so I can show you how much comes off or doesn't come off. Now I also have some shampoo, but I also have a brush cleaner and preserver. So either or will work, even dishwashing liquid. Conditioner works great too, because it actually sort of softens the bristles up at the same time, so that's kind of cool. So what we're going to do is, and when you're doing this, try and do it in a well ventilated area, because they do have a strong smell to them, these thinners. So I've got my window open, hence you probably can hear next door kids jumping in the pool. Lucky buggers. They can jump in the pool whenever they feel like. Okay, we'll just get this lid off and we're going to pour just a little bit into the jar. And what I've done is I've put a rag underneath my cutting mat to protect that a little bit. I don't think it needs to get any dirtier than what it already is. So what we're going to do is, this one is the worst one, and I'm just going to peel some of it off, and we're going to start putting it into here and just move it around. Really wiggle it, and the colour is already changing. However, it's not getting much out. So but as you can see, when I'm wiping it with the towel or rag, it's removing more. So what we might do is let that one soak for a little bit, and we'll grab another one, this one here. And I've got the feeling this one definitely has oil in it because it actually feels sticky. So again, just wiggle it around. This one will definitely have to sit in there for a while, although it's coming off. Yeah, we'll leave that one sitting too. And there's a slight possibility that we might actually have to leave them soaking for a little bit. Oh man, this one is rock hard. Wow. Unfortunately, dementia is a very horrible disease, and forgetting how you're supposed to look after things and everything in general is really disappearing with her. And yeah, it's not easy, and I'm sure it's not easy for her. It surely isn't easy for us taking care of her, but yeah, okay, I'm going to leave that one sitting in there too. Now what I'm actually going to do, let's be smart about this. I'm going to use the other one in this jar to see if there's a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to grab this round one and we'll stir that. And again, the colour is changing super fast, so we know it's working. Oh, I see what my husband means by this one is a hell of a lot stronger. Whew. I mean, really I should wear a face mask, but I'm not. Okay, now let's see. Oh wow, look at that. The bristles are nice and soft again, which is a good sign. They're falling out. I mean, that's the other issue we could end up facing, because, and obviously she has had this in water for way too long as well, because the handle's very loose. But I can just turn it. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why I always say don't leave your paintbrushes sitting in water, or even paint thinners or anything like that, depending on, you know, what medium you're using, because you will destroy your paintbrush. And that's the last thing you want to do. So, okay. Let's see how we go with this one. Might let that sort of stay there. And if you would actually notice, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's literally just some of the, like the tip of the bristles that are sitting in the thinners, so the paintbrush will be safe. I'm going to grab this one and see what will happen with this one, because this one is really bad. I really don't know what she's used it with or anything, so, but the clear thinners is no longer clear at all, so obviously this is working rather well. I just sort of thought we'll see if we can rescue them, because I hate seeing, you know, paintbrushes being thrown away. Oh yeah, this is really coming out. So if it can be rescued, that's always a bonus. Yeah, it's almost like she used some varnish or something with this. I'm not sure. Let's grab a little bit more of the thinners. Look at that. And this is what you want. You want to be able to see the colours on your rag, because it means you're getting them out. So what I'll do is I'll move this one over to the side as well. It can be ready for wash. Now there's another brush that needs some sort of rescuing. Can we do it? I hope so. Now I've never ever seen a brush like this before. But it's like, it's a flat brush with very long bristles. And this one was actually from Art Spectrum, but it doesn't actually say the kind of brush it is. It says it's a number 2 brush. But yeah, oh dear. Okay, obviously it's the colour from the thinners that's coming through. However, feels like I might have got it all out. So I've got this one here. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the other ones in a minute and see what we can do with them. Now I'm guessing she used acrylic with these because the paint is actually sort of turning into little balls, and that's why I suggested the this brush here, because it'll help get that all off. Feels better. Okay, I might sort of fold that like that. Now, as you can see, this one is another really bad one. So again, we'll just wiggle it around in there. See what happens. Sometimes just by wiggling it around you can sort of loosen it up and soften it up and everything and get the paint out. Other times you're not going to be that lucky, so, and in this case we're not that lucky. So let that one soak. I'm going to pull this one out and see how this one is now. We had it sitting in there for a little while. Doesn't feel like it's sort of sticking together anymore. So we might be able to get the rest out when we wash them. And now I'm grabbing, once we had sitting soaking over there, grab this one first, wiggle around in this one, because we already know this one is doing a far better job. Now the thinner sets in this one is actually an automotive grade thinner for primers and paints, so that's something that you want to look for. And yeah, just remember to wear a mask or do it outside so you don't take in all the fumes. Now look at that, I'm actually wiping the excess stuff that was on the paintbrush off with the rag. Not all of it, but most of it. So You beauty. But yeah, that one feels like, and this is a filbert brush, so I'm stoked about that I've got to rescue it, because as I said to my husband, I don't need any more paintbrushes, but hey, I haven't got enough filbert brushes. Now this one here, you can see it's still really, really bad. So we're going to put that one in here and do exactly the same again. And I'm not going to edit this video, only because I want you to see in real time how easy it can be to get the paintbrushes back to being usable. So, okay, let's see how we are with this one. I mean, it's unfortunately it's taking the paint off here, off the handle, but I'm not concerned about that. So it's like, yeah, okay, yeah. All I care about is the bristles. Okay, that one's done. Now, let's see what we can do with this one. That is, yeah, really disgusting. So we'll bring that one over here as well. And oh my God, the colour is changing dramatically. See, I've got the feeling this one's going to take a lot of work. Yeah, this one will take a lot of work. So we'll leave that one soaking in this one for a bit, and we'll see what this one's doing. Look at that. Look at that. Now, that shows me we're getting the colour out of it. By the way, guys, have you noticed I'm not shaking you guys around anymore? It's because I ended up being really clever. And I actually thought, hang on a minute, I'll see if I can move my tripod onto the floor, extend the legs, and see if I can have the camera still at pretty much the same height as I did when I had it on the table. And it worked. So no more shaking, you guys, because my table was shaking. Look at that. Look how much I'm getting out of this. Now I'll grab another clean spot. See how much more we can get out. Oh wow, look at how much is coming out. And that's literally, unfortunately the bristles are also falling out, but it's understandable considering they've been sitting in paint for so long, and now I'm using something really strong to try and bring them back, but you know what, this is pretty cool. So what I might do, I'll leave it as is because I don't want to really do too much to the point where it ends up losing all the bristles. So we're going to see how much we can get out by using some hot soapy water. So we'll do these ones. Oh, this one was stuck together as well. Actually, that actually brings me to curiosity galore at the moment, because I actually got a paintbrush here that's got glue on it. I want to see. I'll do that one right towards the end, and we'll see if it'll even take the glue off. But yeah, you can really see the colour changing dramatically. I mean, obviously she was using pretty much the same colours, but yeah, it's getting very putrid in here. Okay. So let's see what happens here. I'll pick a clean spot, or reasonably clean spot, and look at that. It's coming out. How cool is that? But yeah, unfortunately she used to also use either oil paints or acrylic paints, so, and when they're dried up in a paintbrush, it's really difficult to tell what medium she used, whether it was acrylics or whether it's oil paints. But yeah. And I'm still getting some of the green out. Look at that. Unfortunately, you've got to be really rough with the paintbrush, but it's a good way of making sure they end up being clean, I guess. Wow. Can we find another clean spot, please? Thank you. Now that's getting a lot lighter, so with a bit of luck we'll get the rest out with the hot soapy water. Okay. Time to do the last few. But yeah, I found by really stirring it in there, it really starts breaking it up. So yeah, watch this. See how I'm just wiping colour off. Now this is another one that's loose. But again, it is coming clean. And I've actually worked out a way of like fixing these when they start playing up like that because of silliness. But that'll be another video, and I'll have to wait for it to actually come apart. So what we might do, again, just do the rest. Some hot soapy water, even though it might actually end up making it look pretty smick. We're lucky. Because yeah, that's starting to look hell of a lot cleaner. That was just green before. Alright, we're going to take this one out. I don't really like leaving them in here for too long. So, let's see. How much can we get off? Look at that. Ugh. Yuckies. Oh God, my paintbrushes don't really look all that bad. And I tell you what, the amount of paintbrushes she's got, it's unbelievable. I was actually saying to my husband, paintbrushes that she's got in her little area, because I know she's been using them. I said to him, I think I might have to pull them out one day when she's not at home and just, you know, give them a good clean, because she just doesn't clean them anymore. So look at that. The colours are pretty much out of it, but trying to straighten this is not going to work. I'm going to call this one a bin job, because yeah, there's actually a lot of paint deep inside there, so throw that one in the bin. And we'll use this last one. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Oh look, it's clean over here. And yeah, I think it's going to be the same with this one. It's actually rock solid right in there. So we'll call that one good to go as well. But what I'm going to do is use this brush. Let's be smart about this. In order to get the paint off this palette knife. Look at that. That one's a bin job. And let's wipe this clean. Not sure what else she got on this, but yeah. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a lid for these two, cover them up like so. I know which one's which, just have to look at the colours. Look at that, I even went on to my other rag. That's alright. So what I'm going to do is I'll quickly put some hot water into this, and I'll grab another nice clean rag so that you can see how much more is going to come off. And then as promised, right towards the end, we'll quickly do this one. So I'll put that one over here so I don't forget. Alright, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've got my bucket of hot water, not too hot where I end up burning myself, but hot enough to really get these brushes clean. Now, I won't do every single one of them on camera, but I just want to show you with this one and maybe one more, because I'll do two different ways. On this one I'll actually use the brush cleaner and preserver, and all I'm going to do is just rub it, dip it and rub it. Now as you can see, there is a lot more coming out of the brush. Alright, so what I'm going to do is do this. I'll do it on my hand because I can really rub it that way in order to get as much out as possible. I'm just going to wipe my hand. And we'll get a bit more and see if it starts coming clean. And it looks like it's coming clean. Beautiful. Do it again on my hand. But basically by doing it on your hand, you see I'm starting to get more out. You can really get a lot out. I'm just going to try and scoop this up a bit. Wash it out again. We'll do it again. It might take a few times, but hey, if we can save this brush, you beauty. Yep, it looks like we've pretty much got everything out. And that's basically what I check. Now, just to double check, hang on, I'm just going to use my nice white towel. I'm just going to wipe it now. From what I can see, there's still a tiny bit left in there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll use a little bit of the shampoo. Now what I like about this shampoo is the fact that it's got a little pump action, so I can just, you know, get a little tiny bit on my hand, and then I can just rub it in like so. And again, it actually does still look pretty clean. And I think the only times I'm actually picking up a little bit more colour is where it's right up the top. So wipe that off my hand. We'll find another clean spot. Wash this out. Really stir it around. And we'll wipe it. And as you can see, there isn't actually any more coming off. So this one is the save. So I'm going to move that over there. Now I want to see. We'll grab this one here, because of the fact that this one still does have paint in it, which we do know about. So then maybe not. Let's see what we can do on the hand. Now what I might actually do is use my little brush. I'll try and get most of the dripping off the brush, and yeah, as you can see, I'm actually getting it off, which is a good thing. So, considering we can still get some off, I've just put a little bit of the shampoo on. I'm going to dip this a little bit into some more water. Because what we want to do is try and get it really in there. Okay, brush into a little bit of water, put it on the hand, wiggle it around. And I don't appear to get more out, so we'll wash it out. And again, nice and clean. Now being green, generally it sort of stays on the brushes. I still feel like there's still some in there. So I might have to work on this one a little bit more. So I'll put that one over there. And what other one? I'll do this one. This filbert brush. See if we can get more out. And yes, I'm getting more out. Rinse it out. Wipe it. Look at that. Nice and clean. See? Okay, so I've finished. We've had one that kind of fell apart, but I thought it was a good way to show you why you want to make sure that when you're doing painting that you don't allow the paint to go all the way up to here, because I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it, but it's like all the green and stuff that she used is right there, and that was in quite a bit, if you remember, because it was in that far. Now that you can't clean, and yeah, unfortunately it kind of came out when I was drying it off. So this one is going to be a bin job, because this one's no good anymore. However, it just, yeah, it shows. And basically what it also does is, by getting the paint all the way up here, it starts making your bristles come sticking out like that, you know, and that's something you don't want. You want to keep its shape at all times. So, but yeah, so that's one that's going in the bin. Now, there was a couple of other ones where it nearly happened to me, which was this one and this one. The only reason I know is because I actually ended up putting a marking in, but as you can see, I can't pull it out, right? Where originally I could start pulling it and it was coming forward and I could push it back. So what I did is I just grabbed a pair of pliers and just put it on like that and just pressed it so that it will hold. So these two were saved from ending up in the bin. But all in all, they are now all ready to be used again. So this one here does still have quite a bit there, but I'm not too concerned about it, because I don't like putting paint all the way up there anyway. I like to keep it down here, sort of no more than there. That's pretty much how far I like to let it go, sort of halfway. Because yeah, if you let it go too far, it ends up getting under there and then it starts sprawling out. And I actually can, hang on, I'll see if I can quickly find it. It will end up looking like this. This was a filbert brush, and it used to have that really nice pointy bit up the top here. However, because back then I was careless with my brushes, and yeah, I ended up getting paint in there, and that's what made it sort of start bushing out. I'll still use it and I can get cool effects with this, but yeah, don't go destroying your paint brushes, so not worth it. Alright, now I did promise that we were going to see if we could get the glue out of this one, and I used the really strong thinners again, and we'll just wiggle it around in there. I mean, I'm not too concerned about this one because this one is designated to glue, because I don't like this paintbrush, but it works really, really well when it comes to wanting to glue something. So, however, I am getting the glue off quite easily actually. So, wow, pretty amazing. Put in there a little bit more, wiggle it around. See if we can get some more. The colour is just from the thinners. It's not actually coming out of the paintbrush, because this paintbrush was clean. There we go, no more paint on this paintbrush. How cool is that? So we'll quickly give it a wash, because thinners will destroy the bristles. Oh, apparently it did have paint in it. Look at it. Ooh, yuckies. Okay. Well, there you go. We're getting some paint out of it too. But yeah, as I say, I don't like this particular brush, so I don't use it for painting. I just use it to spread glue around with. I just wanted to give it a bit of a wash to make sure it stays nice and soft again. So there you go. Because yeah, it was a day I was doing some gluing and I forgot to put this brush into some soapy water while I wasn't using it, and that's why it ended up looking so ugly. But there you have it. So hopefully you found this very useful, because let's face it, we do have our moments where we actually do forget you know, to wash out our brushes. So if you do, don't stress over it, as long as you've got some nice strong thinners. And again, I'll stress, be sure to do it outdoors so that you don't inhale all the fumes. I was taking a little bit of a risk by doing it in my craft room. So, however, it wasn't too bad with the window open, but I also ended up leaving the room for a little bit, just to get some fresh air. So, but yeah, so there you have it. It's a good way of, you know, rescuing your brushes so that you can get a lot more use out of them. And let's face it, if you've got kids, a lot of them don't really understand the importance of looking after their brushes. So you will probably find brushes that have paint still all over it, they haven't been washed out properly, and quite frankly, I think the best thing you could do is actually teach your kids how to look after their brushes properly, because if you can achieve that, then you won't have to go buying them new brushes all the time, because they're looking after them, which means they're going to last a lot longer. Anyhow, be sure to give us a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel and you want to see more videos of mine to do with anything that's got to do with art and craft in also many different ways, once I get to them all, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified the next time a video goes up. And by the way, there's another one coming tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.